Welcome to Coffee with Spirit, the podcast where we delve into the mystical world of spirit babies, mediumship, and energy healing. Join me as I share stories and lessons from the spirit realm with a bit of New York realness to enlighten and inspire you on your spiritual journey. I'm your host, Nancy Weiss, psychic medium energy healer. Grab your cup for a quick chat, and I'll see you there. Hello there. Welcome to the podcast. You may have noticed I took off last week, needed a little bit of a break. I don't know what the heck we were doing, but we were busy. I was busy and wanted to just kind of chill for a little bit. But I'm back this week and I want to talk about something that I really love, and that is how spirit still makes jokes, still knows your inside jokes and your secrets, even when they're on the other side. I had the pleasure of being part of an event last week, I believe it was, where we got to connect with passed on loved ones that was specifically requested by the client. So they said, hey, I want you to connect with my mom, Janet, or I want to connect with my dad, Robert. And the only thing that we had to do was to tell them the funny stories, tell them the jokes. And I thought that this would be very challenging because I was like, oh my goodness, how are we just gonna ask spirit, hey, tell me all the funny stories? But it worked just like that. And I was blown away. And I always am. I'm always blown away by spirit, by sessions, by spirit babies, by all the things that come through. But this really just touched my heart. And I said to somebody, I was like, if I could just do this would be amazing. If I could just be the medium that does all the funny stories, wouldn't that be a cool thing? But yeah, as we connected and we had to verify the connection to their loved one, we brought through these stories that only they would know, right? And I think that's one of the most important parts of my mediumship that I want people to know, is that it is called evidential mediumship, where it's not just like, hey, your grandmother's here and she used to bake cookies and she loved you. I want it to go deeper. We want it to go deeper and really get into the stories, to get into the personality of who these people were, how they were, in their relationships. And so one of the first clients that I work with, we brought through her friend. They were friends as young children, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? Okay, white bread sandwiches. And I'm like, oh, gross. I was like, these white bread sandwiches have ketchup on them. And that was her funny story, where her friend, they were young. Her friend used to make her sandwiches, and she'd make either a cinnamon sandwich or she'd make a ketchup and butter sandwich. Now, ketchup and butter is the last thing I would ever think of to put on a sandwich, but this was so funny. This was funny to them. It was funny to me. And it was so specific. There's no way that I think anyone could just come up with this idea. Even a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah, but ketchup and butter. And so her friend was talking about this, on the other side. And it was such a sweet memory to share. And then I worked with somebody else, and her mom came through and she was talking about putting olives, one of her children putting olives on their fingers, and then her following them as she pretended to be Frankenstein, and that she would do that. And this is where her children had experienced, so much joy, so much laughter, and the love behind it all. So it was so illuminating, enlightening for me to see that spirit is still funny. Spirit still makes jokes. Spirit still remembers all of these good times, these good laughs that they had and you had together, when they were here on earth. And I think that's just such a reminder, a reminder that our loved ones are still here. Our loved ones are near us. You know, someone asked me this weekend, he was like, well, you know, where are they? And I was like, you know what? We've been taught, you know, as kids, like a lot of us, like, you know, you go to heaven. And yes, while I think that does happen, we make it seem like they are so far away, where we'll look up into the sky and think that they're not with us. But in reality, they are so close to us. They are right here next to us. They're just on a different frequency. So that's what I wanted to share today. Think about those moments that you've had with a loved one that was so funny, and you know, and knowing that, and bringing comfort in knowing that they remember it too, just as you do, and it can be recalled. It can be remembered. All right, I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have an incredible week. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.